In today's video, I'm going to be creating a postage theme card using the brand new Sunny Days and Breezy Nights card kit from Gina Designs. So I will be doing some ink blending to create this tropical scene. So I'll walk you through the steps for the ink blending, plus show you a masking trick that you can do to create this postage look. So let's take a look at what's included in the Sunny Days and Breezy Nights card kit from Gina Designs. First, we have the Tropical Landscape stencil, which I will be using today. There is also the Tropical Silhouettes stamp set. I absolutely love silhouette stamp sets. And then we have the Sunny Days and Breezy Nights stamp set with coordinating dies for the images and sentiments. There is also the Cherry Blossoms, which is a stamp set. It has a coordinating die and also a coordinating stencil to color in the leaves and the flowers. We also have a brand new stencil in here that is called Twirl It Rope. And then there is a stencil and embossing folder. This is Strawberry Harvest. I will have a link to this kit and all the supplies that I'm using today down below in the video description. The first thing I'm going to do is my ink blending. So the Tropical Landscape stencil is a three-piece stencil. I already went ahead and used Master Layout 14 to die cut out my panels. So that's going to give me my postage look. I'm going to be using my double background grip mat to hold that in place. This was die cut out of the Gina Designs Layering Weight White cardstock. And now I am going to mask off all of those perforated areas. So everything with all of those holes done in it, because I don't want the ink blending to go there. So I am using the masking magic strips to mask off those areas and the outer edges. Before I line up the first layer of the stencil, I'm actually going to bring in all three because I want to get a good visual of what is going to be covered because the panel that I die cut from Master Layout 18 is smaller than what the actual stencil size creates. The stencil will create a full A2 size panel, so I want to make sure I'm getting everything in my scene that I can. Once I have that decided, I am going to line up the first layer of the stencil over the top of my cardstock, stick that down to my mat, and then I'm bringing in these alignment panels, these little corners. That's just going to help me layer up the next set of stencils so they all perfectly line up, but you can also go off of the visual, which you will see here in just a minute. Now, the first layer includes a little piece of land that kind of sticks out there, which my finger is kind of blocking. That's my guide so I don't go over it with my blending brush. And then it also creates the sky. So I started out with sweet corn ink. I went about halfway up or maybe a little past halfway in that area. And then I'm coming in with light cranberry at the top. I'm always starting off of the cardstock and blending onto it. That way I'm getting a nice seamless transition. I'm reducing the risk of getting any brush marks, but keep in mind that the inks do dry back so that they will kind of settle into each other and really create a smooth, seamless blend. Now, once the sky is done, I move down to that little piece of land. You can have this be brown. I decided to go for a nice, lush greenery look. So I started out with key lime and then came in with Kelly green at the bottom part of my land, just to give it a little contrast. So I remove the first layer of the stencil. I'm going to bring in the second layer. They are marked in the bottom left hand corner 1, 2, and 3, but really it doesn't matter which order you go in. It's still going to create this beautiful scene. Now, you can also use your visual cues. So you can see that the second layer of the stencil is masking off those areas I just ink blended. Now, for the second layer, this is going to create, you can make it either mountains or hills. I decided to go with some beautiful green hills in the background. I am using post-it notes to block off the bottom half because that's going to be our water. And again, starting with that key lime, that really nice punch of bright green. Then I'll come in with Kelly green, starting again towards the bottom. I like to have it be lighter towards the top because I envision that that is where the sunlight is hitting. Doesn't have to be super specific. I really just wanted to have kind of that transition of color from light to dark somewhere in my scene. When you're done ink blending that, I do recommend taking a paper towel and kind of wiping away any excess ink to reduce the risk of getting that in your other areas. Then I used some new post-it notes, masked off the top half, and I'm going to ink blend our water here. So this is sea glass. I'm starting with a really nice light color. Now, what I want to do is kind of have almost a reflection in the center where it's just really nice and bright. So I try to focus the color around the outer edges of the stencil. I'll go over it a little bit. I'll call it a dusting of ink in the center. And then, of course, I'm going to step it up. So this is going to be Blue Lagoon. Again, keeping this more to the outer edges. I want that darker on the outside and lighter in the inside, and even kind of scattering that dark color a little bit. And then I stepped it up one more time with blue raspberry because this is what's really creating that visual interest, really adding the character and depth to our scene. And I did use a mini blending brush to do that so I could really focus that color. I'll remove this second layer of the stencil. That's going to leave us with these two areas left from our third stencil. Now, this time, again, I'm bringing in either a tidy towel or a paper towel to wipe away excess ink. And then I'm going to fill this in with some shades of brown because this is going to be kind of my, I hate to say dirt, but beach type of areas. Starting out with Kraft ink. So I'm going in kind of light handed. Now, I want it to be darker in the area that's closest to the water. So, and that's just going to depend on what area you're ink blending. Down here at the bottom, I kept that darker area towards the top. And then I'm going to bring in some warm cocoa to step that up just a little bit more. Having smaller blending brushes like the mini blending brushes or the detail blending brushes really do help control your amount of color that you're placing down and really focuses in on these smaller areas. So that was our last stencil. Our ink blending is all done. Now I should have started this in my Misty because I need to do some stamping. Thankfully, this does remove easily from my glass work surface. So I'm going to carefully peel up my grip mat and I'm going to place this in my Misty tool. I did remove the foam insert that is in there and I just placed this down in there. The reason I'm doing this is I want to stamp the silhouettes, but I need to leave all of that masking in place. So that was a really easy transition, thankfully, because the sticky mats aren't super sticky on the back. They have a pattern, which gives you, I guess you could say, some air pockets to easily remove that from your surface. I'm using images from the Tropical Silhouettes stamp set included in the kit, and after some fiddling around, I landed on a design. I'm going to ink those up with a black ink to get a really nice good impression. I'll kind of let that sit for a second, but I am going to stamp that again. Now, the ink that I'm using is a VersaFine Clair, which is kind of a pigment ink. It does stay wet a little longer. It's a little thicker than a regular dye ink. So you just want to be careful if you're using something like this to give it time to dry, especially if you stamped it twice, because otherwise you could risk smearing it. Now I can carefully peel back all of those masking magic strips to reveal my postage theme, which is just a really fun design, but of course would look great even on just a regular card front. Now, because I'm doing this postage theme, I'm going to bring out the postcards and more stamp set. So there's quite a few different images on here. We have the post office, that circle piece. We have our cancellation. We have a bunch of prices on it, like 30 cents or 5 cents. So I placed those over my areas or my squares, my panels, the sections, whatever we want to call them. And then I'm stamping them in the black ink as well. The cancellation I did have to do separately, but I did leave my grip mat in there so that my cardstock isn't moving while I'm doing my stamping. While I have my Misty out, I'm going to stamp a sentiment, and I really love these sentiments that are on the Sunny Days and Breezy Nights stamp set. I love the beautiful font in there. It's kind of got a playful look to it. So I picked out this one that says, "Wishing you sunny days and breezy nights, just like the kit." I stamped that in a black ink, and then we do have a coordinating die to die cut that out. I'm going to stack the sentiment, so I die cut it out two more times, and these are all from heavyweight white cardstock. Even the sentiment I stamped on the heavyweight. I layered that together with liquid glue, and then I'm adding foam tape to the back of my postage panel, and I'm going to pop that up onto a piece of Marigold cardstock that is cut to 4¼ by 5½. Since I don't have a lot of the yellow color in my panel with the ink blending, I thought the marigold would really help kind of pull that in a little bit, really warm up the scene. Then I'm adding my sentiment kind of off on the side using some liquid glue, and I'm purposely putting it way over on the left because otherwise it does fit almost perfectly inside of the panel, but I didn't want it completely centered. I love when it hangs off of the edge just a little bit. That finishes off my card project. I hope you enjoyed some of these card making tips in turning your tropical scene into a fun postage design. I have all of the supplies, including the card kit, linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. And you can find these products over at ginakdesigns.com. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, here is another one that I think you'll enjoy.